Who doesn't want to spend days on a luxury cruise ship? Well, we all do. But what happens when a pirate's attack turns a dream vacation into a nightmare? Do these attacks even happen in real time? And how do cruise ships protect themselves and passengers from the threat of pirate attacks? If you think about it, cruise ships aren't always the only ones to sail the seas or pass the routes where pirates attack. So why do pirates target cruise ships? Let's find out in this episode of Nautical. If you have ever wondered why pirates would target a passenger cruise ship, just picture a rich city on the sea, or simply put, a floating city. Cruise ships offer a whole world on water, with a pool, including a lounge, a safe space for you to exercise and jog around while breathing in salty air. Different games that can help you relax include the casino, a cinema under the stars, live shows, performances, and also a boutique. This picture already exudes luxury, and even if nothing is as expensive in these areas, the boutique usually holds luxury items such as Rolex watches, gemstones, and designers like Louis Vuitton, Christian Dior, Fendi, Chanel, and the like. There's no way pirates would loot a cruise ship and go empty-handed. And need I say that anyone who can afford to board a cruise ship is very rich? And when we talk about a luxury cruise ship, the only category of people that you'd most likely find on it is wealthy travelers. Back in October 2023, Michael Ungerer, the CEO of Explora Journeys, mentioned that wealthy travelers are flocking to their new luxury cruise ship with a Rolex store, crystal-infused water, and a $190 tasting menu. It is estimated that on average, a person would be spending about $3,000 in a day, which means about $90,000 in a month. Gone are the days when pirates took over a cargo ship with swords and skills. Piracy has become a multi-billion-dollar business run by organized crime syndicates. Cruise ship passengers have millions of dollars on board in cash, valuables, and other assets that pirates are interested in. The amount gets split among the echelons of the crime group, with each pirate receiving around $30,000 to $75,000 for the hijacking. Things like these are the reasons why pirates target luxury cruise ships. But do cruise ships get hijacked easily? Piracy, then and now. There was a time when piracy was really serious and common, but pirate attacks on ships have slowed down in recent years. Years ago, the common and famous pirates were the Blackbeards, Captain Kidd, and other one-eyed, hook-handed robbers who plundered ships of yore. But these days, the role has been filled by angry young men carrying guns, rifles, grenades, and missiles. Supposedly, these pirates seek to act as modern-day Robin Hoods, distributing wealth from the hands of the rich to those of the poor by capturing vessels and holding onboard personnel for ransom. But the truth is, there's no such thing as Robin Hood anymore. It doesn't even look like the poor see a dime from whatever they loot. Instead, they successfully make people tremble with fear, which is what we can say is the same with pirates then and now. While you may think that they don't ever attack in real life, they strike often far more than you realize. Around the early 2000s, they made more efforts to attack cruise ships. One common spot where pirates attack is the Gulf of Aden. Though the majority of concerns currently pertain to the Gulf of Aden, pirates can strike almost anywhere, at any time. Other hot zones include Asia, particularly in the Strait of Malacca, between Malaysia and Singapore, the Somali coast, and the Amazon River. Piracy warnings are also meted out in parts of the Red Sea and along both the eastern and northeastern coasts of Africa. Over the years, there have been reported cases of pirate attacks, and we mean real-life cases. In more than a decade, there have been only 6 reported incidents of pirates attempting to attack cruise ships, and the most recent was over 4 years ago. Back in 2005, Seabourn Spirit was about 100 miles off the coast of Somalia when pirates fired AK-47 machine guns and rocket-propelled grenades in an attempt to hijack the ship. Everyone on board was scared that the ship would eventually be hijacked, but fortunately, the pirates failed. Another happened in April 2008, when pirates attacked Le Ponant, a French luxury sailing vessel. This time, the attack was successful. The ship was carrying only the crew without passengers when it was hijacked. The pirates held these crew members for ransom and wouldn't release them or the ship until a ransom was paid. In the same month, Oceania's Nautica thwarted an attempted attack by pirates while sailing through the Gulf of Aden. The sea was calm for only a year, after which on April 25, 2009, MSC Cruises' former MSC Melody experienced perhaps the most infamous cruise ship pirate attack. The day started well, as passengers were out and about enjoying their vacation until late at night. That night, there was an outdoor classical music concert, which was enjoyable as should be. After that concert, passengers spotted a skiff heading toward the ship and notified crew members. Before the crew member could take action, the cruisers had already thought of a way to prevent their ship from being hijacked. They started throwing deck chairs overboard to keep the pirates from climbing the side of the vessel. But things escalated quickly. The pirates opened fire, endangering the lives of people on board and posing a risk to the ship. The good thing is no one was seriously injured, thanks to evasive maneuvers by the captain and trained Israeli security officers who were stationed on board. The pirates gave up. But not before a strange call was placed to the bridge in broken English, requesting Melody's coordinates. 2 years later, in January 2011, the now-defunct Spirit of Adventure's ship of the same name encountered suspected pirates in the Indian Ocean. The captain of the ship thought to use one of the defense methods on the pirates, which is to pull the ship at full speed. The supposed pirates kept chasing, but eventually they gave up as they could not catch up with the ship. But can we say the cruise ship is faster than a pirate's small craft? There has been a little argument about this in the past. Which do you think has more speed? The cruise ship or skiff? The next attempt came in November 2012, when several small boats approached Azamara Journey. The ship's captain and crew employed unspecified tactics to evade the pirates. Although it was never confirmed, it was rumored that at least 3 warning flares were fired to deter the attackers. When we think of the number of cruise and commercial ships that travel through these areas, and the fact that attacks on cargo vessels and oil tankers are more common, we can say that there are not many incidents. That's true, but it doesn't mean they don't happen at all. And when it does, the truth is, cruise lines tend to keep their tactics secret. Do you want to know why? Let's forget about the obvious reason for keeping it safe from criminals. Another reason is that there are no official regulations with which lines must comply. Although there are no laws on the books to force shipping company compliance, the International Maritime Organization, IMO, does suggest tactics, techniques, and technologies that offer interesting tips for pirate attack evasion. These tips include: every ship should have a security plan to combat attacks by pirates. The planning they must put in place and the training they must go through must be on the basis that an attack will happen, not on the belief that it won't happen. This is to make sure that they are always prepared for the worst. The IMO guidelines also emphasize that there must be tools for early detection, or tools that offer warning on board. These tools include low-light binoculars, yacht radar that detects small crafts, night vision devices, and barbed wire. Also, ships are advised to travel with lights blacked out, except for mandatory navigation lights. In addition, turning on the ship's lights as attackers approach could alert them that they have been seen, dazzle them, and encourage them to desist. Another recommended method is the use of long-range acoustic devices, LRADs, which are primarily used by warships. They serve as a long-range hailing and warning, directed acoustic device designed to communicate with authority and exceptionally high intelligibility in a 15-30-degree beam. What it means in simpler words is, it's a device that sends sonic waves out to a target, and the result can cause eardrums to pop and bleed. In this case, it would wear out the criminals and leave them no choice but to back off. Another method now is the usage of water cannons. It is believed that water pressure of 80 pounds per square inch from a powerful hose can deter attackers. Provided that navigational safety allows, masters should consider riding off attackers' craft by heavy wheel movements. The effect of the bow wave and swash may deter would-be attackers. This is because the skiffs and small boats used by the pirates cannot withstand that much pressure. Therefore, using water cannons could help slow them down. When it comes to piracy, ships are prepared for defense in several ways. On any given sailing, whether in known piracy waters or not, ships monitor movement in the area. Some cruise lines even contract with maritime information, research, and tracking companies like Lloyd's MU, Orbcom, Inc., or Global Marine Networks, LLC. These organizations keep ship owners abreast of happenings at sea. They also have the complete ability to track vessels and can show any change in planned itineraries or signs of distress. Other efforts by cruise lines to protect vessels and passengers include vigilant lookouts by officers and crew members for suspicious movement in the water, as well as consistent viewing of surveillance cameras. Bright spotlights are used for lookouts on nights and to help ship officials spot approaching boats. All of this occurs even when pirates are not sighted, and passengers are rarely, if ever, aware of these tactics, although many of those who have sailed through the Gulf of Aden attest to the use of minimal lighting. Actually being approached by pirates requires a whole other range of tactics. The most obvious is a full speed ahead strategy, the method that was used by the captain of Spirit of Adventure ship in 2011. Captains will also conduct evasive maneuvers with the vessel, like when Seabourn's captain created a zigzag pattern to thwart its attack, while crew members assist in the use of fire hoses and other onboard defense devices to divert the perpetrators from boarding. The behind-the-scenes training that officers and crew receive is intense. Piracy attacks are just like terrorist attacks, and so they are treated equally, or maybe not. However, the lines of communication between ships, office personnel, and government authorities are constantly open. Regular crew members go through weekly drills for safety purposes, while trained experts are contracted to be on board in case of an approach. These contractors are trained by their respective companies, and they also bring that training on board. Each crew member has a role to play in an emergency. Just as there are updated information and training programs for fire safety and weather precautions, there are always updated classes on operating new devices and technologies. Of course, with this training, some people will never have to use them throughout their careers at sea, while some will use them. If the crew has noticed approaching pirates, they can try to contact the nearest coastal security service immediately. If possible, notify the Navy. Transmit Mayday signals to all merchant vessels in the vicinity and send satellite messages. Make the ship as conspicuous as possible for rescuers. But one good advice is they should not be totally relied upon. In case the help tarries, the bridge and the engine room should be fortified using barbed wire, chains, or any available resources to impede pirates' access to these crucial points. It would be a good idea to protect bridge personnel with body armor and helmets, as it is vital to keep the vessel moving, while pirates usually fire at the bridge to make officers slow down. If the vessel is equipped with a safe area, they should gather as many crew members as possible there. Other methods that can be useful include electric fence non-lethal system, which consists of an electric fence that surrounds the ship and prevents pirates from climbing. The system is a collapsible fence that can be folded and kept safe when not in use. There's also the boat trap, which is a type of ballistic net that can be used to stop pirates' boats when they come near a merchant ship. When in water, the net ensnares the propellers of the boats, which disable the vessel, preventing it from moving forward. Slippery foam or anti-traction material is another non-lethal substance that can be used to make the deck or sides of a ship slippery to prevent pirates from climbing it. The highly viscous substance substantially reduces the traction of anything that comes in contact with it, making it difficult to walk or stand. An anti-piracy technology by the International Maritime Security Network of the US involves showering approaching pirates with slick, foul-smelling green liquid, which stinks and burns. The burning sensation and the nasty stink force pirates to jump into the water, thus stopping a possible pirate attack. Another anti-piracy method is the anti-boarding device, which uses canisters with sharp razor wires to prevent pirates from boarding the ship. The wires act as a barrier between the pirates and the ship, which thwarts the forward movement of pirates. This list is not complete without the shipborne shore launcher, a product of a UK-based company. The Buccaneer shipborne shore launcher is a cannon-shaped device that uses compressed air to fire a variety of projectiles. The power and lethality of the projectiles used can vary according to the distance of the pirates from the ship. P-traps can also be used to rid off pirates. This is a non-lethal system that helps prevent pirates from boarding ships. The system carries thin lines which float at the water level around the sides of the vessel. When pirate skiffs or boats come in contact with the lines, they get entangled with the engine and disable the vessel. Another unique method that you might not have seen or heard of is the anti-piracy curtain. The system consists of a series of hoses that are dangled on the port and starboard sides of the vessel. Seawater is passed through the nozzles at a force of 0.2 megapascal, which makes the hoses go in an unpredictable whirling motion, generating enough force to seriously hurt anyone who gets in the way. A stun or flash grenade is another anti-piracy device. This is not lethal, like the grenades you know. It only produces a blinding flash of light and loud noise. Stun grenades are used to temporarily disorient pirates' senses without causing any kind of permanent injury. Just like the dazzle gun, which is a type of laser weapon that uses green light to disorient and temporarily blind the pirates. The crew members can also use a rubber ball grenade, which only sprays rubber bullets on detonation. The anti-piracy grenade also produces light and sound, which can be used to deter pirates from coming towards the ship. Next is the pain ray, which is officially known as the Active Denial System, ADS. It is also a non-lethal weapon, which transmits a narrow beam of electromagnetic energy to heat the skin without causing permanent damage. The wave penetrates beneath the skin, which causes an unbearable burning sensation, forcing pirates to run away or jump overboard. One of the piracy weapons that has been used repeatedly by a few merchant ships is the Molotov cocktail. This weapon is not a high-tech weapon, but something that can be made right there on the ship. You might have seen it done in a movie or two. It is made using empty glass bottles, a flammable substance such as gasoline, and a source of ignition such as a burning cloth wick. It can then be thrown on an approaching pirate boat to set it ablaze and disturb its maneuverability. So what happens if pirates eventually get on board? The crew and passengers can also be protected using tasers, a non-lethal weapon that delivers an electric shock that temporarily causes the pirates to lose neuromuscular control. The device can be used as the last resort to protect the ship's crew from pirates. We can go on and on when making a list of anti-piracy weapons that are or have been used against pirates on the high seas. Most of them have never been used or implemented on ships before, while some have been used repeatedly. One quick question though. If you have been following this since the start of this video, you'd have noticed that every weapon and method mentioned is not lethal. And you must have heard warnings like, never be aggressive in your interaction with pirates. Don't make sharp movements, and don't use firearms even if you have any. Now, the question is, why spare pirates who attack ships with the intention or potential of causing harm to anyone on board? The only answer that comes to mind is to avoid escalation of an already dangerous situation. But what do you think could be the reason? And what better way do you think pirates should be handled? Let us know in the comments section.